And welcome back to the channel of Motorbike Nonsense. I'm Tim and this is my phone. I love my phone. It's a fantastic thing. You can do so much with it. You can look at pornography, you can browse Reddit when you should be parenting. It's just a wonderful thing, and it's kind of killed off the humble sat-nav. The sat-nav is at a crossroads, let's face it, because of things like the quad lock phone case for mounting a phone to your motorbike. And it kind of seems like every bike influencer this side of Jupiter has a sponsored deal with them, but not me. People are just putting their phones on their motorbikes, because why wouldn't you? Built-in phone apps, things like Google Maps, Bing Maps, Apple Maps, if you're really desperate, are just great. We're so used to using them, why not use them on your bike? But anyway, I wanted to find out if there's still a reason for motorbike sat-navs to exist, or if they're about as useful as Bill Gates' OnlyFans account. You know, the one where he gets the Windows XP wallpaper and writhes around on it. But anyway, this is my living with review of the Garmin Zumo XT, which I've had for a couple of months, and I'm going to tell you the good things and the bad things about it. Let's go. First up, I want to explain why I didn't just go down the route of buying a quad lock. First up, I like not having my phone on my bike. I like knowing it's in my pocket on me. If I have an accident, I fall off, it's still with me. It's just some peace of mind. I'm not actually hopefully going to crash. I just like knowing it's on me. And yes, I know I could use my old phone to put on the bike. Secondly, there's a whole worry about vibrations. I know quad lock and every other mother with a phone case has a vibration dampener now to stop the optical image stabilization in your phone dying. And I'm sure you've noticed that there are lots of bike influencers out there who, when they post Instagram videos, they're really shaky. And that's because their phones have died from being on motorbikes. Even GoPros do it. When I ride in Aprilia Twino V4, my GoPro dies within a couple of minutes. But those are just little reasons why I didn't get a quad lock for my phone. The other reasons are they're big. The case that you have to put your phone in to go on your bike is massive. And this is a big phone anyway. It's the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Yes, basically I'm a granddad with a 2-year-old phone, but it wouldn't fit anywhere once it's in that big quad lock case. And I definitely don't want to be switching cases when I want to go for a motorbike ride. I've got enough faff putting on my thermal underwear and all the rest of it. And the other reason is price. Quad locks look quite cheap when you look at them. They're about 40 or 50 quid. But what if you want one with the vibration dampener? That's an extra couple of quid. If you want one that can charge your phone while it's on your bike, which you almost certainly do if you're going to use it as a sat-nav, that's more money. I actually priced one up with all the bells and whistles, quite a fancy one, and it was £180 for a fancy phone case so I can strap my phone to my bike. Garmin Zumo XT, it's 350 quid, but quite often it's on sale, and if you've got your bike insurance with Bennett's, and this isn't a plug, they don't pay me, I have to pay them to insure my bike, they've got a rewards program, and usually the Zumo XT is 265 quid, so go and check that out if you've got your insurance with Bennett's. But anyway, let's have a look at the Zumo XT and I'll tell you what I like and don't like about it. Right, this is the Zumo XT as it comes delivered by, well, whoever makes it, Garmin. It's got a waterproof seal round the back. You've got your power connectors on there. You've got a little red on button, and you've got two little flaps down here, which are going to be out of focus. One is a really old micro USB. Was it micro USB? No, it's USB, I can't remember which one, but it's old. It's the one you used to use to connect your printers. And in there, it's got an SD card slot, which I've never used. But anyway, it comes with a variety of mounting options, one of which is twatting your tripod, one of which is just a U-shaped bolt, which goes onto your handlebars and has a little ram ball on top. That's the one it comes with. It also comes with a suction mount. Not sure what you'd use that for in a motorbike. I've invested in this Touratech bar so I can put it on my bike. And actually put it on the bike mount. This bit's the same whichever appendage you use. You put it on from the bottom and then it clicks in at the top, sort of. And then it takes the power off your bike. Now, I have rigged this into a switch live on my bike, so when I turn my bike off, the power to the sat-nav dies. You can plug it in straight into your battery, you can not plug it in, but I don't think the battery life is very good standalone. And that's basically it. Now, in terms of usefulness, it is very, very responsive for a sat-nav. However, it's not quite as responsive as using a mobile phone. So if I do a sweary swipe in, swipe out, you can see it takes a little second to load up all the mapping, but it is leagues ahead of sat-navs of old, and I've had a Garmin 6 years ago, and that you would never do this. You would never swipe around the map because it just was painful, and you would die before it actually updated the next bit of the map. So yes, it feels very nice, and it's almost as responsive as a phone, but there's so much more it can do. You can mount it vertically, so like that, give you a Dakar Desert X from Ducati type infotainment feel, and it just feels a bit more rally when you do that. But obviously I can't mount it like that because I've only got space like this. Now there are several ways to use it, and I've been on a big tour around Europe with this. Go and check my videos out. I did about 1,500 miles in a weekend, and I used preset routes, which are routes that someone sent me. I put them on my computer and then beamed them over to this over Wi-Fi. You can plug in, but it's got built-in Wi-Fi, and then you can go into Trip Planner, look at your saved trips, and find, oh look, here's Tim's day 2 around Schwarzwald, and then you'll just say, cool, I want to do that. Go, and it will get me to the closest entry point, so it will also get me there, and it might take a little while to calculate the route. So that is one way of using it, is setting a route up on your PC or your Mac. It does work on Macs, and I am a Mac man, and Garmin software never really used to work on Macs, but it does now. It's quite good. So it gets loads of points for that. But there we go, it's going to be taking me to Germany now. Come on, disembodied hand. So there you go, the route is all the way down here in the Black Forest, but it will map me there using my preferences, which are, you know, toll roads and motorways, and I can go. Should we go to Germany? I'd really love to go to Germany now. I fancy some sausage. Yes, it has a speaker in it as well, and I keep forgetting to turn it off, so I'm going down high streets, people can hear my directions and stalk me. Another way to use it is obviously just going, I want to go to an address. Oh, have you got fat fingers? I want to put in a postcode, I want to go wherever, I want to go to Derby for some reason, and it just works, and it's really quick at finding a route. You can change your country and everything else as well, and you do have to change the country. And that is one of my problems with this. It is not as easy to use as something like Google Maps, which I'm sure you're all familiar with, but if I just wanted to say, oh, I want to find a McDonald's, I would just type in McDonald's, and it would show me them all almost instantly, and I have a choice. If I want to do the same thing on here, I have to think, oh, what is it? Is it a favourite? Is it a category? I think it's a category. Is it an attraction? It's a restaurant. I can now, oh, this is one good thing. It has remembered I like McDonald's, and it will then show you this, obviously. It will show a list of McDonald's and their ratings. Why are none of them 5 stars? The Big Tasty was excellent. So yeah, and then you can tap up there and it will show you them all on a map, but how many taps is that versus just doing it on your phone? Obviously there's no pornography app on this. However, there is an app for music, so you can quickly check or listen to music as you're going along, and it's got Bluetooth, so you can Bluetooth it to your headset, to your helmet, and then it gives you a nice visual representation of what music you're listening to. So it feels like an infotainment system for your car, but on your bike. And I really like this. It's really nice when you're on a motorway schlep, just being able to visually see what music you're listening to. And you can put random on and change your source and all that other good stuff. You can even browse, actually. Can I listen to my World War II podcast? Oh, the Drive Tribe podcast. Yeah, that's been dead for several years. A bit like Drive Tribe. So far, so functional, but the whole reason you ride a motorbike is because you probably want to explore and have fun, and the Twisty road setting on this is very good at letting you do that. So basically, you say, oh, I want to go to, oh, I don't know, let's go to the Eurotunnel, and you press this orange bit here, and start a new route. And then you can choose your level of twistiness to get there. So if you don't press that, it'll just give you the most direct route based on your preferences. But I want to take 3 hours to do 87 miles to a car park outside Folkestone because I'm weird. And then you can say, oh, actually, do you know what? I want to go via a road somewhere down here. And you can tap the map and it will add in a random point on the way. So this is a time-wasting exercise to help you find twisty roads, but it's actually quite good, and it does lead you down some roads that you would never have done before, some of which have grass down the middle, but you know, we call those Garmin specials, and it's half the fun of using a sat-nav. Try doing that on your phone. Now, hopefully you'll recognise this as an S&M weapon or a motorbike glove, and is made of leather, dead cow or kangaroo if you're fancy and all racy like. But yeah, one thing to point out is these aren't special gloves, not designed to work with touchscreens, they are just bags of dead flesh. And look, it just works really well with motorbike gloves. You don't have to worry about getting special gloves. I know, of course, it should work like this, but it does. And it is just not a problem. Now, there's one app which on my tour of Europe I found incredibly, unexpectedly handy, and that is the weather radar. So if I go to apps and then scroll down, it's buried down here, there is something called weather radar. And you think, well, what use is a weather radar? I'm out on my bike, I might get wet, I might not. But when I was on a 7-hour schlep through northern France, in the pissing rain, I could use the weather radar to see when it was going to end, because I could see my route and I could see the big green clouds, they're radioactive on the Garmin, and I knew I was going to be dry in about 45 minutes, and that was really, really good for morale at the start of a long trip. So yeah, seems like a gimmick, actually very useful, and it updates and it shows you if it's going to snow and stuff like that. I like it. Look, it's saying I've done 128 miles an hour. That was in Germany. Don't speed in the UK, it's illegal. It's probably illegal in Germany as well. That was outside Northnage. But anyway, thank you for watching this. I just want to do a quick conclusion. I know it's quite a boring topic to talk about, and I know that my camera's autofocus probably isn't going to cope with me walking back here. But is a Zumo XT worth 350 quid over, say, 180 quid tops for a fancy phone case? And yes, I know you can get a phone case off, you know, Alibaba for £10 and the death of a small child in China who made it. But I think I would still stick with the dedicated sat-nav. I just like having one device that is beautifully made, completely waterproof, designed for a purpose, and is compatible with a bunch of stuff on your PC and Mac to explore the world. I really like it. I prefer not having to have my phone on my bike, and I know that's an entirely personal preference, but if you are looking for a sat-nav, I think they don't get much better than this. It's been a while since I used a decent TomTom, but I would just go and buy one of these because I like Garmin's, I like how it works, and it works really quickly and really neatly. It's very visible in bright weather, it's very waterproof because I've been in torrential downpours, and it's just done the job really very well. I just click it on my bike, it's rock solid, and it will take me wherever I want in Western Europe because I've only paid for Western Europe mapping. Obviously, £350 is a lot of money, and you could argue you can get a quad lock for about £80. However, you still got to buy a phone, but most of us have got phones. That's a slightly moot point. So yeah, it is an investment, but if you're going to do lots of tours, or if you just want a machine to get you back home when you go out and get lost on a sunny Sunday, I'd highly recommend it. I really would. Would I replace it if I lost it? Absolutely. I just don't want to kill my phone on the handlebars. No matter how good your vibration dampener is, there's always going to be a worry at the back of my head that if I get a quad lock, it's going to knacker my very expensive phone that I have to use for Reddit and pornography. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to stick with the Zumo XT. Very good. I'm going to give it 9 Tim Roadies out of 10. The downsides are it's just not as easy as a phone to use for exploring McDonald's and finding things near you. It can do it, but it's a little bit more faff than a phone. That's it. Thank you for watching. If this has been helpful, please hit like and do subscribe to the channel because I've got slightly more interesting videos coming up very soon. Much more interesting. They involve riding this. Bye.